My name is Steve Layton, and I travel the world finding amazing and delicious coffee for you to drink at home. Some make coffee difficult to understand and complicated, but here it's my job to make it easy and fun and tell you what's in my mug.
Hello, and welcome to this week's In My Mug, episode 436, I believe. Jolly good to see you. Don't know where the weird voice came from, sorry. No, welcome, good to see you again. And excited about this week's coffee. Excited because I love Brazils. I'm sorry, I'm guilty as charged. I should like Kenyans, and I should like Ethiopians, and I should like funky naturals, and I love a Pulped natural Brazil. They're just so easy to drink. This week's comes from Passeio, which is in the sul de Minas, south of Minas Gerais. It is a farm that's around about 1,000 to 1,250 metres above sea level, and it is called Carmo Estate. Carmo is owned by Tulio. I nearly said Aldolfo, which is a different farm. And Tulio has been a coffee farmer for as long as he can remember, and it's always rude to show somebody's age, but over 40 years. And owns probably the biggest farm that we buy from. This farm produces around about 60 to 80,000 bags a year. If you were watching last week's In My Mug, I talked about Bolivia as a country producing 20 to 30,000. Gives you some idea of how big this farm is. And lots of the coffee that is grown on the farm is not specialty. Tulio will be the first to admit that probably half of it really isn't specialty. It's a commodity grade coffee that he sells in a different market. But Tulio's expanded into this experimental varietal place that makes him one of the leading producers in Brazil. Let's go look at this week's map bit, and let's come back and talk about that varietal.
Welcome to this week's map bit. A map bit I'm really excited to share with you. We are across the Atlantic Ocean and we are going to South America. And in particular, we're going to focus down on Brazil. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But before we do, Brazil is completely self-sufficient in its energy. For such a big country, it's quite an impressive thing. I'm impressed anyway. We're going down to the state of Minas Gerais and the state of Sao Paulo, but this is Minas Gerais and Fazenda Passeio. Fantastic texture of the sections of the land planted. You really, really get a feel for it. If you look in the top of the picture, top middle, you can see the farmhouse and all of the buildings, and then surrounding it, you've got all of the drying patios and the processing. This is me on Passeio here, and I don't think we'll ever see that hair again, will we? And here I am. When I visited with the red hair, everybody was telling me that they thought there was something wrong with me mentally because I'd done it. But yes, I like it. Aldolfo is a wonderful, wonderful man, even if he thinks I'm a bit strange. You can just really get a feeling for the texture of the land on this map bit. The highest point is Pico da Neblina, which is 2,994 metres above sea level. The lowest point is the Atlantic Ocean that we've just flown across. I love it when map bits are this detailed. I hope you enjoyed it too.
So the varietal is called Arara, and Arara I can find very little about. Hopefully by the time you're watching this I will have posted something somewhere about it, because I'm desperately sending emails off to all of my varietal friends to find out a little bit more about it. I know nothing apart from, as far as I can see, it's only really in Brazil, that's common, that's something that happens. So the coffee tastes exactly how I would expect it to taste. Brazils have this beautiful, thick mouthfeel. It's texture driven. Chocolate, in this case it's dark chocolate, and a beautiful hazelnut finish. Like, it is just like, it's like a whole nut bar. It really is. The chocolate is almost like a little melted chocolate. I could drink this all day, and I probably will after I finish recording this. It is really, really an interesting coffee. Let's go look at their fact file, and let's talk a little bit about Tulio.
Hello and welcome to this week's Fact File. And as always, figures may change as we've got them wrong. But this week we're focusing on the country of Brazil. Of course, the biggest coffee producer in the world. 8.5 million square kilometres of land in Brazil. It's a big place. It's as big as most continents. It's, of course, the biggest coffee producer by 33%. Produces 49 to 51 million bags per year, which, trust me, is a lot. Common varietals where you have Bourbon, Typica, Caturra, Cataí, and there's a lot of different varietals going on. Coffee grown fairly low, kind of 610 to 1200, 1300 metres above sea level. We work with 10 farms in Brazil, something that is unusual for a specialty roaster, but we love Brazil. So Fazenda Passeio, owned by Adolfo. The variety is Arara, altitude 1100 to 1200 metres in the region of Minas Gerais, near to the town of Alfinas. That is the fact file.
So Tulio, I think he's fairly unique in the coffee world. He wants to give away parts of his farm. People who work for him are quite often encouraged to take on pieces of land, build houses on his land, and be more involved in farming for themselves. And then they'll sell the coffee to Tulio, who will then process it and then sell it to other people and into other places. It's remarkable what he's doing there, the social projects that he has on the farm. He's investing in schooling, he's investing in healthcare. He's really doing all of the right things that you want a producer to do. He has a lot of land. It doesn't matter if he gives a little bit to one producer who then comes and processes with him. It makes it more manageable and means that he can get different coffees and more amazing cups. It really is a stunning place. Right, let's go to Roland's daft fact of the week. In fact, let's type him up. Roland. In 1969, a gang were arrested for using beetles to climb into the fare boxes and take out coins. The beetles were also arrested. Where does he find these facts from? Beetles robbing fare boxes, indeed. Right, into the espresso. And I missed my mouth. I did really good there. Oh my! Oh! The dark chocolate is like dominant. Like, not in a little way, in a big, big way. That is like really high cocoa content dark chocolate. The texture is amazing. Like, and that is all like natural processing. It is texture, chocolate. Not a lot else in the espresso. Like, it's not as complex as the brewed coffee was, but super interesting. Like, super interesting. Into the milk. Interestingly, this one has slightly different milk to what I normally use. It's unhomogenized milk, and it really works with it. That's weird. This is the third in my mug in a row that I've really enjoyed the milk drink, but the sweetness of the dark chocolate, but the milk takes the edge off it, so it's not the crunchy. It's just like a Bourneville. It's kind of like just good. Nice, sweet, interesting, delicious. Not getting a lot else. Like the brewed coffee was definitely the most complex, but this is fantastic. Love it. Listen, get rid of my cappuccino moustache. Thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for watching, and do remember, life is definitely too short for bad coffee.